It looks like they are going to shut down Occupy Wall Street in New York. Now, they claim they're not, but I'm going to give you the details here that show you that that is exactly what they're going to do. They say that they are going to do a cleanup, that they are going to enforce Friday morning at 7 a.m., but that they will allow the protesters back into what is now being called Liberty Plaza afterwards, right? Now, let me give you their assurances first, and then I'll tell you what their real plan is. Here is Deputy Mayor of Operations Cass Holloway for the city of New York. He says the mayor, of course referring to Bloomberg, is a strong believer in the First Amendment and believes that the protesters have a right to continue protest. That's a lie, and I'm going to explain why it's a lie in a second. He continues, at the same time, the last 3 weeks have created unsanitary conditions and considerable wear and tear on the park. This situation is not in the best interest of the protesters, residents, or the city. The cleaning will be done in stages, and the protesters will be able to return to the areas that have been cleaned, provided they abide by the rules that Brookfield has established for the park. So this is great. They are causing damage to the park by actually using it. God forbid anybody should use a park that's in the public domain in New York. Now, Brookfield, of course, is the private owner of that, and they're not happy about it. And they say, well, if you follow our rules, then maybe we'll be in favor of the First Amendment and let you back in. And I'm going to tell you what those rules are, and it's a joke. But let's go to the CEO of Brookfield, Richard Clark. He says, we fully support the rights of free speech and assembly, but the manner in which the protesters are occupying the park violates the law, violates the rules of the park, deprives the community of its rights of quiet enjoyment to the park, and creates health and public safety issues that need to be addressed immediately. I mean, if you don't think that's clear enough that they're going to kick your ass out, you're not paying attention. It is disturbing the quiet enjoyment that the bankers used to have of that park. How dare you come in protesting the bankers? Well, we can't have that. So while we totally cherish your First Amendment rights, we'd like you to do it in your basement instead of out in the open where it's actually working and where it's grabbing a lot of attention. That's what the concern is about. Now, they claim that they have gotten a lot of complaints, and in a letter to the commissioner, Raymond Kelly, they say, here's what one person, concerned citizen said, that they were worried about the, quote, the lewdness, groping, drinking, and drug use. Yeah, I know. That's what this is all about. Not the bankers being worried that they're actually being caught, and people are actually realizing that they're the ones that are the culprits in buying our politicians, etc. Yeah, it's the drug use and the lewdness of the protesters that's the problem, right? They also say there's, quote, the lack of safe access to and usage of the park. Are you kidding me? Has anyone ever used this park more? You're worried about the usage of the park? They're never going to use that park more than they're using it now. Please stop with this jokes. But they're not going to. They say, quote, unsanitary conditions and offensive odors. Oh, you are offending us with your odors, you filthy protesters exercising your constitutional rights. And, of course, apparently there were people who said that they needed help in removing the protesters, quote, at the earliest possible time. You must remove them. This is the so-called complaints of the community, which I don't believe for a second, okay? Are there people who might be complaining in the area? Of course. Could it be Goldman Sachs employees on their way to work? Of course. So how do I know they're not going to really let you back in? They say, well, you can visit the park. But here are the things that you are now not allowed to do after the so-called cleanup on Friday. There will be no camping or the erection of tents or any other structures. So there you go. You can't stay overnight. Well, if that wasn't clear enough, lying down on the ground or lying on benches, sitting areas, or walkways, which unreasonably interferes with the use of benches, sitting areas, or walkways by others. That's gone. No lying down, no tents, no sleeping bags, nothing. Continuing, the placement of tarps or sleeping bags or other covering on the property. Not even a sleeping bag. So if you're out there in the cold or it's raining, you don't have a tent, you don't have a sleeping bag, and you can't lie down. So you're allowed to stand there like a stiff for a couple of minutes and then leave. Wow, thank you for cherishing our First Amendment rights. Hey, Mayor Bloomberg, could you have spared us the lie? The gratuitous lie in the beginning, oh, I believe in the freedom of speech, as long as you don't actually bother the bankers. I mean, I'm not going to let you do it in New York at a collection of people, but if you'd like to do freedom of speech in your own home, well, then you're free to do that. Wow, are you not merciful? You're a liar. You don't care about the freedom of speech. You want to crush it. By the way, do you know how Mayor Bloomberg made almost all of his money? By selling Bloomberg terminals to all the top banks. That's what made him a billionaire. Okay, now he's telling us, oh, I cherish your rights, except for the fact that I don't want you to have any more of that freedom of speech that's getting so much attention and causing my banker friends and my banker clients all that trouble.